This all started this morning shortly after 7 o'clock, and our Jeremy Rogalski has been looking into this minute by minute on what transpired in the timeline and what we have on the suspect. He joins us now in the studio with what he's learned. Jeremy.
We have been able to confirm that the suspect, who is deceased, is 30-year-old Deon Ledet, 30 years old. That's confirmation from two different Harris County law enforcement sources. He has a criminal history going back to when he was 18 years old, and we have a graphic to illustrate that. Those arrests, 18 in all since he was 18, so 18 arrests in the past dozen years, included felony drug charges, burglary, evading arrest, and felony aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now, the latest cases were from, as this you could see list scrolling down of all those charges, the latest cases are two drug possession cases from November of 2020. Here's the interesting thing that we've learned from court records about what transpired with those. The Harris County District Attorney's Office, according to court records, originally asked that he be denied bail. The reason is he was a habitual offender. We just saw that laundry list of charges. But what happened? According to court records, the judge actually gave Ledet two separate bonds on those two drug charges. One was for $10,000, the second bond was for $20,000. Then what happened after that? Well, he was also ordered to go in for a GPS ankle monitor. But according to court records, that did not happen. And so that is what resulted in this bond forfeiture warrant for his arrest. So technically it wasn't actually a narcotics arrest warrant. It was an arrest warrant because he jumped his bond conditions. He did not go in for an ankle monitor. Wow. Fast forward to this morning, and here we have a dead officer and one in the hospital. So again, the takeaway here is you can see 18 arrests in Harris County for this 30-year-old Deon Ledet. Some bond issues here that we're going to be exploring, but the end result is he was on the other end of the door when they tried to serve him and bring him into custody.
That's huge, Jeremy, when you think of at what point this could have been prevented.
Exactly, and obviously we'll be delving into that more.
Great.
And there's some tough questions for the judge.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And it makes sense that these were the officers that were serving this warrant because they were high-level, experienced officers, and he was considered violent and dangerous. And this was a felony warrant.
This
correct?
is what they do.
Certainly, and not only violent and dangerous, but habitual, and that's a legal term, meaning he had spent 2 stints in the Texas Department of Corrections. So high level, it doesn't get much more high level than this.
Yeah.
You mentioned that he didn't have an ankle monitor, and the court records show that. Was that because he just never got it, or he never went to go get it?
Correct.
Okay.
The bond conditions were you were required to report in to get outfitted with an ankle monitor. Again, this is all coming from court records, so we're confident in reporting this. He did not show. That's what triggered that bond forfeiture arrest warrant. In other words, Mr. Ledet, you do not comply with the bond conditions. We're going to send a team out, a squad out to come get you. But again, the district attorney's office, according to court records, from the get-go, from these last 2 drug charges in November 2020, they said, no bond, judge, no bond. This guy does not need to be on the streets.
Wow.
And a bond was granted. He failed to appear. Another bond was granted. And then finally, that forfeiture, that bond jumping, in simple terms, warrant was issued. Fast forward to today. And
that really gets under your skin. Yeah.
For a lot of courtroom observers, indeed.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jeremy Rogalski, joining us with that information on the suspect.